And we are just a couple days away now from the Critics' Choice Awards. And really, this will be, should be, pretty quick video here because we kind of talked about the nominations already and who I think is ahead right now, and that was just a couple days ago. So, as we head into the weekend here, we'll have the award show coming up at, during the evening of Sunday here. I don't know, it's last year I was told a certain time, and then when I tuned in just a couple minutes early, I was like, oh shit, they've already handed out like 4 awards. or something. Or it was like half an hour late or something. But yeah. I will go ahead and get started here, but just a fair warning, guys. I want you to take a good look at that backdrop. You might not see that possibly even ever again. Because we are going to have a new digs here starting next video, so that'll hopefully be Sunday night if everything goes to plan there after the Critics' Choice are over. So, with that, let's go ahead and get started here. We'll kind of work our way up the categories and go from there. Okay, so first off with the visual effects category, most everybody I think has Tenet here. Remember it is Critics' Choice, so, I was really tempted here to go with something like Invisible Man, but, yeah, I think Tenet is probably going to do better here. Number one, it's, if we're going off the perspective of who's going to win in the Oscars here, Critics' Choice does sometimes really like to line things up. We'll remember last year and 2 years before that, so that'd be 2017 and 2019, they got, even though they could have gone their own way in some of the acting categories, they went with Brad Pitt, if I can remember them all last year, Brad Pitt, Laura Dern, Renee Zellweger, and Joaquin Phoenix last year. And then the 2 years before that, it was the 3 Billboards year. They went with both Francis and Sam Rockwell from that film, and then Gary Oldman and Allison Janney. Even though, I was predicting, that particular year, I was predicting Laurie Metcalf and, not J.K. Simmons, Willem Dafoe. Sorry, I was thinking of another smaller movie. Willem Dafoe for their respective films there. But even though, because they had won so many critics' prizes and all that, but no, they went with the same 4 that won the Globes. I don't have that happening this year, though, when we get to the acting categories, but the idea of who's ahead for visual effects right now is Tenet. Invisible Man didn't even make the short list for visual effects, so yeah, I think that's the one they're going to go with, though. Invisible Man, overall, I think, does have the best reviews of all the films that are up here, so it's they had 7 here. Tenet, Midnight Sky, Wonder Woman, Invisible Man, Mank, Greyhound, and Mulan. But yeah, I think Tenet's the one they'll choose here. But again, the one I'm looking for the upset though is Invisible Man, but I don't quite think it's going to happen there. All right, we'll move into the hair and makeup category next. And this one, I think there's a good fight to be had here between Hillbilly Elegy and Mank, and then Ma Rainey's. I think it does come down to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom for the win here. Just because it has, other than Mank, it's the most nominated film in the category here. I think Promising Young Woman does have quite a few nominations otherwise, but I think they'll go with Ma Rainey's there to give it at least that one in the tech categories. In the music categories, the song, I think, I got this wrong at the Globes, but I'm going to pick Speak Now from One Night in Miami. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I guess it's weird because at the Globes, The Life Ahead didn't have Best Actress for Sophia Loren. One Night in Miami was not up for film or for screenplay, so it's like they were both missing something. So yeah, it was kind of weird they didn't that One Night in Miami went home empty-handed there. But I don't know. I just have a feeling it's that they're going to go with this one because I don't really have One Night in Miami being very well represented here otherwise, except for one other category. So yeah, I think I'm going with that one for now. For the score category, since they don't have an animated feature category, this is probably, if I remember right, this is the only place to award Soul for the whole night. So I think they're going to give that something here. It is in the upper 90s on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody, generally, I think, really likes the movie if they don't outright love it. So I think they'll want to give it that. Okay, then for the design category, starting with costume design, I'm also going to give this one to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Be on the lookout for something like Emma, or possibly even, I mean, it would be way out there, but I wouldn't even be totally shocked to see something like Promising Young Woman win this category, just because when you get into certain aspects of the film, the costume design kind of has a bigger role to play than it does in most contemporary films. So that's one I would say, just because it is such a critical darling as well. I really only have it winning just one category later on in the night, but well, maybe early in the night, depends on when they present the award, because they gave out like Best Actor like in the first half hour last year. So I don't know, but yeah, I think they'll give Ma Rainey that one as well. Production design, I am going to go with Mank here. Again, there's a couple other places they could go. News of the World, I don't think is going to have a great night. I don't really keep track of it, but I think the only one it's like solidly, and it's not even the film itself that's nominated, but the young actor category, that'll go to, I believe, Helena's Angle's way out front for that one. So that would be technically kind of sort of a win for the film, but otherwise I don't think it's going to win anything else. Like, it's definitely not going to win picture, not screenplay. Tom Hanks for actor, I don't think so. Yeah, so there might not be any place to award that other than if you count the Best Actor or Best Actress category. Unless they want to give it production design too or something like that. But yeah, I think Mank is probably the one they're going to go with here because it is kind of old Hollywood and stuff. And it's a lot more in-your-face production design than, say, something like Ma Rainey's, which I had originally winning this kind of all the way through the Oscars there. Cinematography is another one. It can kind of split a few different ways here. I have Mank winning here from the for the black and white cinematography and everything, and I think the critics will enjoy that. Nomadland definitely has a shot here. Minari, I would say, has actually a pretty decent shot here as well. But yeah, I'd say Mank, is probably the one that wins that one. Okay, then we have. Oh, I skipped over editing. Editing category, yeah, this one I think will be Trial of the Chicago 7, because Chloe is an editor on Nomadland as well. I have her obviously winning director, so that's, they'll award her there. I think otherwise, if it's a passion pick, they might go with Sound of Metal, because I don't really think, again, that's one I don't think it's going to win anything otherwise. So since there's no sound category here, there's no place to award Sound of Metal otherwise. So Sound of Metal might be an upset, like a tie, or maybe ties with Chicago 7 or something for editing. That's possible. Otherwise, Mank is from the editing duo that did back-to-back Oscar wins with Fincher for Social Network and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But yeah, I think that's, I don't know. I don't really sense Mank as a huge editing threat going forward. I mean, I think it'll be included in the nominees at Oscars and BAFTA and such, but I don't see it as a huge threat to win yet. So yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely Chicago 7 is the one I'm picking, but Sound of Metal and Nomadland are probably the two that can upset it there, or possibly Mank in a very, I think, fairly decent fourth place. Okay, no animated feature or anything like that, so we'll skip to, and no documentary, so we'll skip to foreign language film. And I think Minari is out front here. I think it'll win like it did at the Globes there. And I think after this, I need to remember if, I'm going to look this up real quick, because I can't quite remember at this moment if Minari was put in that film not in an English language category. It is, yeah. So pretty much, yeah, after this and BAFTA, they're not going to have Minari up for this foreign language category. So in a way, if you're on the board with the idea of Minari winning Best Picture, what we could see happen is, I was kind of thinking about this today, one thing that really could help Minari, and maybe it's an even more solid frontrunner potentially at the end of the day for Best Picture than even Parasite was last year, and obviously that was one that I think a lot of experts were thinking about it, and then finally in the last couple of weeks finally pulled the trigger on predicting it to win after it started winning like WGA and BAFTA for screenplay and stuff and all that. But Minari is not going to have that problem when we come to the Oscars, because I was very skeptical last year. We'll go on a brief tangent here just to discuss it, because I do have Minari winning, actually, I think, the most awards of the night, I believe. But I'm really tempted here. I might just right before I give my answer here for one other category, I'm tempted to go somewhere else here. But no, I think I'm going to keep what I have there for now. The thing I was going to say, though, is Parasite, what a lot of us were thinking last year is it was going to fall into, at least early on in the race, was it's going to fall into the Roma trap. It's going to be, okay, it might pull off a win for director, it might even get screenplay, but it can't win Best Picture because we have the foreign language category. And that's, a lot of Oscar voters are going to be very like, oh, well, I already voted there for English, for a international film. So why would I vote for it again in Best Picture? That was my thinking early on. But clearly that did not become a problem for the overall popularity of the film, or enough people had it in second or third place if it got split up enough there with the number of votes and stuff. So Minari, though, since it's not going to be in that international film category at the Oscars, it's not going to have that problem. So everybody who says, oh, I want to vote for it for this, yeah, picture too. It's like, it's not, there's no other place to award it where it's like a, top category like that, where it's, best of the field in that way. As far as, like an international category or an ensemble category, which we don't have at the Oscars. But yeah, I think that's the way they're going to go there. So, or could go at the Oscars. We could see, and then plus another thing that Parasite did not have last year, I thought they might pull it off, and I had Song Kang-ho predicted to get nominated in supporting actor, but it didn't happen. Not likely, not 100%, but Minari should at least get that one supporting actress nomination for in the acting branch. So that's something Parasite couldn't even pull off. So yeah, that's, I kind of thought about more stuff like that over the day here. So now I'm like, I don't know, I'm really tempted. After we'll see how Minari does, because it is also going to be up for director and picture here, and actor and supporting actress and stuff. So it's, we'll see. Maybe it kind of does a mini sweep here at Critics' Choice, but I wouldn't go that far yet. But yeah, I think at least for the foreign language film category, it's a way to award the film in a big way there. Another kind of big category, though, it is one I am going to stick with it or change. I can't remember if I had Trial of Chicago 7 up front here, but the ensemble category, I'm also going to pick Minari here. Because I think it's a tight enough ensemble. There's just enough people in it where it doesn't feel like too small a cast. Which, not to say that's a problem for something like Ma Rainey's or One Night in Miami, but since there are two kind of stage play adaptations like that, they might cross each other out here. Chicago 7, I have winning editing and one other category. So I think they'll say, even though I have Minari winning more than anything else overall, I think that one, it probably still has film ensemble at the SAG Awards, but I wouldn't. I don't know. Something tells me Minari is going to be bigger here. Otherwise, Da 5 Bloods is also up for ensemble at SAG. Judas and the Black Messiah was the one that was not nominated, but even then, maybe the nominations had been a couple weeks later, maybe Judas and the Black Messiah would have been a nominee instead of something like Ma Rainey's or One Night in Miami, potentially. But yeah. I think Minari wins that ensemble prize. But again, even though I said it might cross out, I think the one I have in second place to win here is One Night in Miami, just because it is 4 very good performances there. Hard to deny that they're all really great. So, yeah, I think I'm picking Minari there. Okay, for the screenplay prize as adapted, One Night in Miami I have winning here. I would watch out for The Father. Chloe, again, adapted Nomadland, so I really don't see Critics' Choice, even though I think they do really like this movie. I don't see them giving it screenplay, editing, director, picture, and giving Chloe 4 awards in one night. Because I don't think even Alfonso Cuarón did that a few years ago when Roma won. It won for film, cinematography, and director, just the 3, I believe. So, or it might have. I think he might have got on stage though for foreign language film too, though. So. Even though I can't remember how it goes at Critics' Choice, because I know with the Oscars, the country itself wins it, so it's not particularly a award like when Alfonso accepted, for Roma, or last year when Bong Joon-ho accepted for Parasite, he did not particularly win that category. The country technically won it. Obviously, Bong Joon-ho will probably keep it with him, but along with the other 2 Oscars he won. So, but yeah, that being said... Yeah, again, I think they do like Nomadland, but maybe not that much. Yeah, again, watch out for The Father here. I had a winning screenplay at the Globes. That didn't happen, so... yeah, One Night in Miami, I think. It does seem like... Remember, Beale Street won here a couple years ago, too, so it kind of feels like that one that they, kind of sticks out. It's one that will very likely get in at the Oscars and might pose a threat to win, the way that Beale Street kind of did that year. Original screenplay category, I think they just go Aaron Sorkin here, Trial of Chicago 7. Even though he's up for director, and I see him pretty much getting nominated for director everywhere else this year, I think they're going to view his big prize more at the screenwriting level and stuff. So I think it goes there. Unless something like Promising Young Woman comes up, that's a possibility. Even something like Minari, I would say, has at least a somewhat decent shot of winning screenplay as well. But again, I have it winning a few other awards, so I don't quite see them going that far with it. Okay, supporting actress, Yoo Jun-yeon, I'm going to pick here. Maria Bakalova, I think, is very close, and I was kind of teetering between these two, but I'm going to go Yoo Jun-yeon here for the playing the grandma character in Minari. It could be, it's a pretty, not to spoil too much, but it does have some showier moments in there at certain points of the film. I won't say when, because it is, I don't even that, you kind of alludes to a spoiler or two, so we'll skip that part if you haven't seen it yet. And I don't know, I think there will be enough vote splitting going on in the category here otherwise. I mean, Maria got plenty of critics prizes. I mean, I think I looked at the other day and it was like 13, 14, it was some ridiculously high number. Olivia Colman will definitely get some votes. I think Glenn Close, even though she tied a couple years ago, will get some votes for sure. So yeah, I think, and even Amanda Seyfried I can see getting a few votes in there for those that like it enough in for Mank and stuff. So I think there's going to be just enough vote splitting going on. And yeah, I think they'll go Yoo Jun-yeon. And I can, again, see a very easy path where she wins here, then she wins at SAG, then she can win a BAFTA. Maybe not at BAFTA, but definitely be nominated at BAFTA and then win the Oscar. Okay, supporting actor. Yeah, this will be a strange, or not strange, but this will be a kind of interesting one to look at here to see if, okay, is Daniel Kaluuya now on this path that we've seen, a few other actors get on where they just sweep the whole season? Right now I say yes. Leslie Odom Jr. and Sacha Baron Cohen were both formidable at Globes, rather, and Daniel pulled off the relatively small I would maybe even not even an upset, but because some people, I think by the end it was I think he had the majority of the predictions there at a couple, like Gold Derby I think had him in first by the end of the time where you could enter your nomination predictions and stuff. But yeah, I think he can get on that path there. And Judas and the Black Messiah does have just a hint more support here than it even did at the Globes with the ensemble nomination as well as song nomination. So, and yeah, I would say watch out for that one maybe to become that kind of dark horse 9th or 10th slot, probably 9th and most likely, Best Picture nomination, definitely, as we come to the start of voting going on. Yeah, they could, if they want to go somewhere else for song, they could award Leslie Odom Jr. here for supporting actor. It's possible, definitely. And I think other than Bensley, I can't say his name. Okay, I gotta look it up. Fuck me, I can't remember. I've been saying his name all year and I can't fucking remember it right now. Frustrating. Kingsley Ben-Adir. I was reversing the first letter for the for the first name and the hyphenated last name. See, I already forgot it again. Kingsley Ben-Adir. Other than him, I think Leslie stood out from the cast there as the performance to award here, and that Best Actor race. It's tight. I can still see Kingsley Ben-Adir getting back in there. He could be the one that gets in, and then it's like, oh, well, he didn't pop up anywhere else, kind of like Bradley Cooper did about close to 7 years ago. 6 years ago, yeah, because that was 2014, announced in 2015, yeah. Okay. So, I think it's probably down to those three, but even then, I think, yeah, Daniel, I think after that Globes win, that kind of sounds like one where it's like, okay, that can just probably start potentially steamrolling the rest of the season. Okay, Best Actress. I didn't change anything here. Carey Mulligan I have out front. It's a way to give Promising Young Woman something. I don't have it winning Screenplay. I don't have it winning anything else there. So I think it's the way to award the film. And Viola, again, I was worried about this, everywhere else this season with Viola Davis and Andra Day, kind of, again, playing very similar type characters. But obviously that was not a problem for the Globes voters there. Anyways. That being said, though, just a quick thing, too. For the actress race, I kind of looked it over because I'm like, I wonder how many times our Best Actress drama winner at the Globes has gone on to not be nominated at the Oscars. I looked it up. It's like maybe twice. And even then, you have to go way... It's like the first example was clear back in the late 80s. You had... see if I can remember it here. There was a three-way tie in 1988. You had Sigourney Weaver for Gorillas in the Mist, Jodie Foster for The Accused, and then Shirley MacLaine. I couldn't think. Shirley MacLaine for Madame Zizowska or something. Zizowska. I remember, Siskel and Ebert talked about it one time. I've seen a couple of videos where they talked about it, but all three of them tied at the Golden Globes, and of those three, two of them went on to get nominated at the Oscars. Jodie won that year, but she was like technically the only winner, and even then it's on a tie, so you kind of put a little asterisk by that, to not be at least nominated at the Oscars. Everybody else, through the years, there has at least been nominated. When it comes to like comedy actress musical, that's a little more lopsided in favor of either you're, the winner or you likely don't get nominated. It's kind of not say that's the case every time, but more commonly than not, it's one of those two. But I think you had to go all the way back otherwise to like the 60s. There was like maybe one or two examples there, like in the very early days of the category there, when the Globes were kind of still getting their footing and all that. So yeah, it is extremely, extremely rare. You got to go back nearly 35 years to find an example of somebody not winning at the Globes, or somebody winning at the Globes and then not getting at least nominated at the Oscars. So by that metric, unless we're really overdue for that to happen, Andra Day is going to get nominated. So I do have her in, Vanessa Kirby, Frances, Viola Carey right now for Best Actress at the Oscars. But yeah, I'm really starting to worry about Vanessa Kirby dropping out, and they go with Sophia Loren, or they go with somebody else there. But oh man, I'm so worried. All right. Well, I mean, I obviously got some time to think about it. The nominations for Oscars, the voting starts. I think it's either today or yesterday it started, but we've got till the 15th is when the nominations come out, so we've got some time here. Okay, then going to Best Actor. This is where we're really going to start to see if my theory, that theory start to get tested out here, for whether or not Chadwick is going to start sweeping through the season. What I have said many times, though, and I think it's a valid point, at the Globes, Chadwick was only nominated for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom in lead actor. He was not up for The Five Bloods. The Five Bloods got nothing at Golden Globes. He is nominated here for supporting actor for The Five Bloods, and I think it's a valid point. There could definitely be some people in there that some voters, and this is not just at Critics' Choice, this is everywhere going forward, and presuming Chadwick also gets in at BAFTA for supporting actor as well. And that is, we're going to have some folks that do many different things with his performances. I think there's going to be some voters that vote for him in both categories just to cover it, just say, I loved him so much, and I'm just going to put him down for both, just to make sure he wins something. There's going to be some voters that are more apathetic and are definitely like, you know what, I don't want to award somebody who's not even going to show up to the ceremony. I mean, it'll definitely be a little callous, but there are voters like that. There's going to be some folks who are more strategic about it. There's going to be some voters that are going to say, look, he's going to win lead actor, so I'm going to vote for him there. Supporting, I'll go somewhere else. And then the reverse. There's going to be some that say, well, I like Anthony Hopkins a lot, or I like Riz Ahmed a lot, or I like Stephen Yeun a lot, or I like Gary Oldman, or potentially Delroy, or Kingsley Benadir. God, why am I struggling with that? I haven't struggled with it all season. Or whoever ends up being that fifth slot. And I mean, definitely there's going to be some folks out there that like those better, so they're like, you know what, but I feel bad. Let me put Chadwick down for supporting actor or something. And again, it was like, okay, is there going to be enough of those people that vote him number one for supporting but go somewhere else and lead, and vice versa, where there's some people that put him down for lead but somebody else for supporting, and there's just enough split voting going on to where he doesn't win either one. I don't think so. And it's, again, especially after the Globes, it's like, wow. I mean, when his widow gave that speech, I mean, that was a huge, arguably, again, still the moment that everybody's talking about from the Globes. So I think that, obviously, I was thinking the exact same thing. I mean, it's obviously not this exact same situation, but go back to Michael Keaton winning for Birdman at the Globes, even though it was in the comedy musical category. The speech he gave shook the house. I mean, he got emotional. There were funny moments in there, but it was a huge, huge moment there for him. And everybody at that point, I remember that night, including myself, I was like, okay, he just won everything going forward. And then he won at Critics' Choice and stuff, and then came SAG, and then here comes Eddie Redmayne, and then that train took off. But, and yeah, totally flipped that category on its head going forward. So, yeah, we'll have to see if that theory holds true, but right now I'm saying no. Right now I'm going to say, yeah, it's Chadwick. We might overthink it. And even then, there's really I don't think there's really one solid performance that can overtake him. I think there are going to be enough people that say, well, I like Riz Ahmed best. And then there's going to be another group of people, just strong enough number, that they're going to say, well, I like Anthony Hopkins the best. And then so on and so forth through the rest of the nominees there. So, yeah, I don't see this one going astray here. But again, I mean, I'm not going to say, I will definitely not say I told you so if that does happen to happen on Sunday night, where all of a sudden, it's Riz Ahmed instead of Chadwick Boseman for Best Actor. But yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, all three of those performances, their films were very highly awarded or rated rather on Rotten Tomatoes. All three of them are in like the upper 90s. I think even The Father was still at a solid 100% as of a few days ago here. So, and Ma Rainey's is like 98%. Sound of Metal's in that mid to high 90s range there as well. Yeah, and again, it's like the only other thing I can think of is Sound of Metal. Like I said, the only other category I think it has a strong enough shot in to win would be film editing. And even then, I think, it's probably in third or second or third place, maybe fourth. Depending on how you view that one. And then it is also up for Paul Raci for supporting actor, which I think he's won a fair number of critics' prizes. But I don't know. It's like he's been so on and off this award season. He's not up at SAG, was not up at the Globes. So I really don't see them going with him here. But if they're in the mindset of picking who's going to win the Oscar. Okay, so that just leaves Director Picture. Director Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. Yeah, I think that's pretty locked and loaded there. And then Picture, I'm going to go ahead and say Nomadland wins this one too. Remember, Boyhood won here as well after it won the Globe. Roma won here. So, there is kind of a trend lately. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won here last year. So there is kind of a later trend here where Picture here does not line up with the Oscars. Shape of Water was correct. Spotlight was correct. 12 Years a Slave was correct. So there's definitely been times in the past 10 years where they've lined up. Argo won here, if I remember correctly, and I believe The Artist did too. So yeah, they've been more right than wrong technically, or it's about an even split in the past 10 years. But I think it leans more toward correct if I did the math right on that. Again, I would watch out for the one film again that might upset is Minari if it does end up pulling enough votes there. But again, I think if they give it either ensemble or foreign film on top of it, I don't see them going all the way with that, but and giving it multiple ones. But then you have Roma. I'm just gonna triple check that. I don't think they went anywhere else for foreign language, or I think they still listed it as foreign language that year when it was at Critics' Choice. Let's see here. If it's alphabetical, I gotta go to... Oh, no, it is Critics' Choice. It ended up winning, Picture, Director, Foreign Language, Cinematography. Yep, I think, I had that right. I was just gonna triple check that, but... I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Minari, I think it's definitely a threat to get at least nominated for Director. I don't see Lee Isaac Chung going over Chloe Zhao. I don't quite see that happening. Because number one, Chloe just did a fantastic, hell of a job on Nomadland. Absolutely great job directing. And two, I think the narrative is really starting to form up of let's get our first person of color female director win. That narrative is really taking off and everything here. So I really don't see there's unless the news comes out tomorrow that she killed somebody in an apartment 2 years ago or something ridiculous, or a Russell Crowe situation like at BAFTA where he was allegedly throwing phones at producers or whatever. Unless something like that happens, I think Chloe Zhao is really going to continue here. So, yep. So yeah, Nomadland for Picture. So I just have it winning those two. It just won those exact two same awards at the Globes. Otherwise, I have Mank getting 2 wins, Ma Rainey's getting 3. Minari, I have getting 3. So, yeah, that and Ma Rainey's I have tied right now for most wins. But yeah, and we could see Nomadland, possibly eke it out for screenplay or for editing or one or both of those. So it could end up with 3 or 4 wins. I don't know about Frances though. For lead actress, yeah, I think it probably is Carey Mulligan. If anybody upsets her, they could just line up with the Globe winner Andra Day, but she's clearly not going to have that sweep mentality like we've seen in recent years because she's not nominated at SAG and she's not on the long list at BAFTA, so she has to come back and get the Oscar nomination there. But yeah, okay, all right, that's what I got for now. So yeah, I'm getting ready to move into new digs. So yeah, I think at the beginning of the season I kind of talked about it a little bit, but now it's finally happening. So once again, say sayonara to this. I'm not going to miss it. Anyways, I'm not saying we'll never come back to this, because if I do have to come back here on a weekend or something and it just so happens to be like an award is happening and I haven't had time to shoot a video yet or something, then yeah, that would be probably about the only exception. But yep. Otherwise, get excited for a new backdrop for once. Or not for once, but yeah, it'll be the first time since graduated college that we'll have a different backdrop for you guys there. So get excited for that. All right, yeah, we'll see what kind of a shit show they have for Sunday. I didn't really talk about, in all fairness, I didn't talk about the award show on Sunday there, the show itself. I didn't talk about the hosting or anything because I was like, you know what? Anything I say, you can just say it's a COVID year. I mean, there obviously it's a struggle. Obviously, it's not going to come off perfectly when it comes to presenting these award shows this year because so many people are just staying at home and they Skype in or Zoom in. I don't know if they've announced it or not for the CW or not, if they're going to have like a stage, and they do have Daveed Diggs, who I think was still attached to host. Just have him and maybe a couple other presenters come out through the night, like they did the Globes. I don't know if they're going to do like a simulcast like they did last time where it's, from New York and LA, multiple locations there. I haven't heard much about it, and frankly, this award show is already so fucked up with all the TV prizes, and they already screw over enough people where it's like, you know what, yeah, I don't care what they do. So, as far as, normally I would comment on stuff like that, like I would have last Sunday there. But since it is a COVID year, and it's too much of a disaster to it's not even worth criticizing if, the jokes weren't funny. Because, you know why? Because it's, it's stressful. It's stressful enough. But hey, one very positive note, though. We're going to definitely cross our fingers here. We might have a summer movie season. I mean, with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine starting to come out now, we're seeing the studios are getting prepared, at least temporarily for now. Paramount moving Quiet Place up to Memorial Day weekend yesterday. That's a good sign. I am really hoping that Disney and Marvel keep that Black Widow release date on May 7th. You can keep it. Okay, I was kind of thinking about this the other day too. Real quick, just indulge me a little bit here. Number 1, it's a movie that, I was like thinking it through my head. I'm like, okay, if I want to talk about it, this is how I would address it. Well, number 1, we've just, with WandaVision, I haven't seen the last episode today, but WandaVision is really, for the most part, taken off really well on Disney+. We've seen a lot more subscribers in the last couple months since the show started. It's definitely been the talking point every week as we kind of advance through the season. And there's almost enough subscribers now to where Disney can take a couple hits if Black Widow only grosses like 60 or 75 million here. If it happens to open in May, as more theaters start to open up potentially. That's number 1, is they can afford one hit, at least one hit, and Black Widow could be that one hit if they want to save... Oh shit, I forgot. Isn't Shang-Chi the next Marvel movie? That's supposed to come out in July, but I can see them pushing that back to like November. Eternals gets pushed back to March or something, if they want to try to space it out a little bit more, in case Black Widow absolutely collapses. But... my other point, though, look at, Tom and Jerry last weekend, which is a film I had no interest to see at all. Look how crazy business that did. $14 million for a stupid animated live-action hybrid film like that. to do 14 million, the families are the ones that can go, and are the ones that are actively going to the movies at this time. So that Raya and the Last Dragon that Disney has coming out this weekend, expect that to do well. I think Tom and Jerry will do well in its second weekend. And superheroes, like when I went to see Wonder Woman, there were a lot of family audiences there. So the family audiences are definitely going out of their way to go and see superhero movies. So Black Widow, another example of that. So, and plus, I think it's a good sign that if the other studios see that one hold, they're like, oh, well, if Disney holds it on that release date and they release it then, yeah, let's go ahead. We'll keep Top Gun in July. We'll keep and all the rest of them through the season there. So, and plus, there's the caveat that Disney might keep that release date and release Black Widow on Disney Plus same date. There's a weird little dust particle flying there. Forget that, but they might keep it on that same date and have it come out on Disney Plus the same day, like they're doing with Raya and The Last Dragon today. Just, pay an extra $20 and you'll get Black Widow for like a day or 2 days or something. So they might do that too. All right. We've gone on long enough here. We'll go ahead and break it off. I've got shit to do, stuff to pack up, and I will see you all on the other side when we have a different backdrop.